Yeah, well, one, it keeps cycling, but two, this is, this has been doing damage. I mean, this is no doubt about it.
Can I
Again,
talk about that damage for a second?
yeah, go for it.
And bear with me
Yeah,
here,
that'll give me a
folks.
check. I'm gonna take a look
Grab
at a couple things over
grab a
here on the
drink.
other
So we
other
talked a
computer
little bit earlier in the coverage tonight. The first priority for the National Weather Service is always to issue warnings, and then kind of second to that is they will do these verified storm reports. So they take storm reports that you send in via Twitter, that emergency management puts in, or whoever it may be, and they put them out. So they're on a little bit of a delay, right? So like Scotty just told us he has trees down, and we just told the Weather Service, and we'll find out whether or not they consider that verified and it makes the report. But here's the kind of the line I want to show you. So you can see, starting with Oconee County in upstate South Carolina, this one is still the one that is most impressive to me. This is at 5:55, 2100. Car flipped over, structural damage to a CVS Pharmacy on Blue Ridge Drive or Blue Ridge Boulevard. And we also know that a nearby radio transmitter was bent in half. So that's just outside of Seneca. That kind of kicks off this line that then makes its way into Greenville. Fire department reporting numerous trees down, pretty close to the downtown area, right, of Greenville here. Pretty populated area. Then we got two reports. This is where Frank Strait was earlier, and this is where we joined coverage when the tornado warning kicked in. It was about here, near Moore, near Reedville. Numerous uprooted trees, Highway 417 between Highway 290 and Reedville Road, and reports of parts of a roof blown off a house on Moore Duncan Highway. And then, so again, this is where our coverage starts. Now, at this point, this cell starts moving north. We got another report near Boiling Springs where trees snapped there, intersection of Asheville Highway and Pishka Church Road. And then, as it crossed the border, that's about the time we lost it on radar and we lost some ground truth. But then it got kicking again as it crossed US 74. And just outside of Forest City here near Ellenboro, report top of a large tree ripped off at the intersection of Pinehurst Road and Business 74. And then, of course, that brings you right into the game that we're playing now, whereas this came into Burke County. This is actually still parts of McDowell County here, emergency management, tree down on Pineville Church Road. And then we had, actually, I can show you. Here's the county line, and here were the tornado warnings. These are archival. None of these are active right now in terms of tornado warnings. But you can see kind of right exactly where some of this action was over the past couple hours or so. And now we're getting reports from our own Scotty Powell up there that he's got trees down just on the north side of town. If the Weather Service takes what we're feeding them and verifies it, which is on them to decide whether or not they want to do that, Scotty would be just north of that river there. I'm just realizing you can't actually see my mouse cursor. So we'll see what exactly they decide to do, Jared, here shortly. But we've relayed that report to them. And we'll find out. So, Jin, there's got to be a better radar in no man's land. We can do anything. We need better radar coverage in the Carolinas. The Charlotte metropolitan area where I live comes to mind so often because of its pure population density as an area that has inadequate radar coverage. And then as we get up into this area, as you get up into Hickory, up into Morganton, you just end up in this area where it's too far away from the other radars. The radars are in Greenville, Spartanburg, South Carolina. They're in Raleigh, North Carolina. They're in Roanoke, Blacksburg, Virginia, and they're in Columbia, South Carolina. I mean, at a certain point, I guess you end up with one from Tennessee, but not in any location that I've ever actually really used and been helpful other than to see on the other side of the mountains. What is that? That's Knoxville.
Right.
So that's not
Yeah,
helping us solve this
that's
problem.
it isn't.
Some mountains in the way there, Jared.
Yeah, yeah, we're gonna be over time. We're gonna be looks like we're gonna be handing off to the KFCX radar out of Blacksburg.
Yes.
And so what we're looking at, I've got this up on another computer over here. I'm not going to get away.
No tornado warnings right now, folks. It is 9:05 Saturday, April 10th, 2021.
No tornado warnings right now. The only thing that we have is a severe thunderstorm warning from a storm that we know is capable of doing damage. Looks like it's moving a little north of Lenore now, and I'm gonna just let's go back to the GSP radar real quick. And again, we're really not seeing much on this view. What I'm going to try and do is I'm looking at it on another computer, and I still see a broad mesocyclone aloft, and that would make sense if we are dealing with a little meso-low, a little bookend vortex kind of deal. That would make sense. A little broad rotation aloft. So that is making sense. We're able to cut through the purple haze a little bit looking from Blacksburg. But again, keeping in mind that the data from Blacksburg, we're hitting in 12,000 feet.
Yeah, we haven't really come into that adequate location yet. Yeah. I will say, while we've been talking, the Weather Service did go ahead and they added Scotty Powell's storm report to the official collection of storm reports for today. So thank you, Scotty. He can't hear us. He's without power. Let me turn these warnings back off so I don't give anybody the false impression. And then we also get this one. This is actually way closer to Marion than I thought.
Mm-hmm.
This one here is damage to a metal roof and broken chimney on home in the Mud Creek area. And then this is is this Scotty's? Even that feels not where I thought it was going to be.
Well, oh, look, yep, looks like he's back. So,
Scotty Powell?
Yes, I'm here.